of the season. Remember, he played in 28 games total in his first 2 years in the league. Duncan defending here against the all-star Hibbert. Vastly improved. The left-hand hook is up and good. Spurs quickly try to get on him. Granger has really been a thorn in the Spurs side as the shot is up and good by David West. 56% from three against this team.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of the way he shoots the ball. Lynn Rice way back on the perimeter where he can just fill it up.
Parker on the drive, body sprawling as Granger goes down as well, and the foul is called, and it's on George. And speaking of George Hill's going to check in right now. Hill has been averaging 24 minutes a game, played in 35, now 36 of their 51 games. Missed 12 games with a chip fracture of his ankle. Granger, Leonard the challenge. Timmy comes out to double. Inside, Hibbert goes right to the bucket. Blocked by Duncan. Taken away by Danny Green.
You know, they talk about getting 3 days of rest as opposed to 4 days of rest and how much a difference that makes, that extra day. Well, it's the same thing here. You get 2 days off, and all of a sudden you feel like you've got your legs again.
And as the Spurs will go to the free throw line with Tim Duncan, Sonic's got a nice deal for you. Check your old Spurs game ticket stub to see if you've received a special offer from your local Sonic. Random lucky fans will win a free buy one, get one burger offer from Sonic. To find the Sonic location nearest you, visit sonicdrivein.com. Duncan knocks it down, and the Spurs make it a 9-6 ball game.
Hibbert's just a little bit longer, I believe. What's he listed at? 7'2". He's a big guy.
Duncan, boy, again being very aggressive. Tim has gone to the basket 4 times already.
Yes, he has.
And going back to the free throw line.
Hasn't settled for jumpers again. And again, we're talking about 2 days off where he feels like his first step is quick. He wants to go to the basket and try to finish, and I don't blame him. Apply a lot of pressure to that defense, get them in foul trouble, make the game easier for everybody.
Timmy knocks it down as Manu Ginobili checks in for Danny Green. Ginobili led the Spurs in that win against Sacramento Wednesday night. Says hello to George Hill. And you know George has seen a lot of this guy over the last 3 years in practice. Second unit.
Yeah, can you imagine the battles every day in practice when you had that second unit? And this team, you know, they haven't had enough practice time, so they haven't had the battles in practice that you would expect. You give this team, if they had a week off to practice, I could only imagine. You'd want to pay to get into the scrimmages. I mean, the second team, they're so explosive for this group.
Let's check in quickly here with Andrew Monaco.
Bill Dwan Blair left the floor, went through the tunnel with Spurs assistant trainer Dice Yamaguchi, and he looked up to his family and he said, I just got to get the bleeding to stop. So he had the head tilted back as he was coming through the tunnel. Hopefully he'll return with Dice.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Here's Blair averaging. Spurs bring it back 11-8.
This match right here for Timmy.
Amundsen guarding him. Timmy says, check the videotape. I've turned the clock back. I mean, the Spurs with the lead.
Timmy worked on the low block, turns over that right shoulder as of late.
Inside to Hibbert.
How about this 7'2" against 6'8"?
Timmy comes to double. Hibbert got loose though, swings the hook up and in.
Good move by Hibbert. And a whole lot of ugly.
There's you, Sean. Manu slips and he still knocks down the triple. Ginobili had 20 in Sacramento the other night. Averages 9.5 points, 4.5 rebounds for the 4-time All-American out of North Carolina.
That's the guy you want taking the shot instead of Danny Granger in the corner.
How about Manu weaving his way to the basket and then banking it in?
He's so long.
Granger meets a double team again, and the tip is up and in as much Tiago almost as it is Hibbert.
Yeah, that's what you love about Steven Jackson. He's not going to bail the defense out. You see how he draws the double team, makes the game easier for everybody else out there on the floor. Instead of jacking up a 3 ball ahead of or in front of Leandro Barbosa, he puts the ball on the floor, draws the double team, makes the pass or makes the game easier for everybody.
And another thing that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Is Manu at the free throw line. I want to remind you that 2012-13 season tickets are on sale right now. Great savings, up to 36% off the general public ticket price. You also get playoff priority, and there are flexible payment plans. Remember, lower level season tickets start at just $55 a game. Certainly, it's labeled his career. Tony Parker, and that's Tony Parker, vintage as he goes all the way to the rack, the twisting layup. George Hill just 1 of 5 tonight, 1 of 3 from the arc. Timmy from Tony, count it, and set him to the line.
And play started to develop at half court. Tim Duncan comes running to set that screen. Tony Parker in motion, takes the screen and drops it off to Tim Duncan. The help defense not there in time. Great pass over the shoulder of George Hill, no less. And Timmy Duncan with a nice finish at the rim.
Foul on Barbosa. Tim shooting when we come back. All right, Cynthia, thank you very much. As we come back, Tim Duncan knocks down the three-point play on the free throw.
He told me what, he was 2 for 20 before he makes his game-winning shot.
And Jack had an opportunity to win it, but missed. Manu, he is spot on. Another triple from Ginobili.
And that's what you have to love.
Hands broke. Not this time. Parker comes off for the rebound. Tony in the paint off the glass.
I love how Tony Parker is starting to use that glass more in the paint area.
Winning streak, trying to get a little separation here. Going toward the half with 4:46 to go. Spurs lead it by 17. Manu to Timmy. Blair. Oh! Dewan thought he was going to bring the house down with a rim shaker.
Oh, that's because the pass from Manu Ginobili is so tricky. He just starts getting clever on him. It's a tremendous pass to Tim Duncan, and Timmy go a little globetrotter himself, dropping it off to Dewan Blair.
Yeah, he wasn't complaining about the call, folks. Players aren't that bad.
Well,
Nice
some
pass.
aren't.
Yeah, some.
Yeah. No reason to take your foot off the gas. Close this half off in style. Maintain this lead.
Timmy, 10 on the shot. And he is fouled before the shot. And it'll be on David West. The Pacers have been, when you look at their record, Sean, they're 30-20. They're 5th in the East. They're 2nd in the Central. They're still way behind Chicago. But Frank Vogel's got to wonder, they're so streaky. They had a stretch where they won 5 of 6, then they lost 5 in a row. They won 6 in a row and then lost 4 in a row.
You're exactly right. That's what they are. They're streaky, and that's just a sign of a young ball club that's inconsistent. They haven't figured out how to win on a consistent basis and how to bring it every night. Some nights they're good. When they're good, they have all the talent.
Granger now with 7 on the night. Duncan and Ginobili with 11 and 10 respectively. Manu, excuse me, let me update. He's got a dozen after that circus shot.
With a bullet of a pass, and how about Manu able to handle that pass and finish with a beautiful reverse layup.
Now you know why this Spurs team is playing in front of sellout crowds the last 11 games. You better get your tickets now, folks, because this team not only playing great basketball, entertaining, my goodness, and Manu got away from him that
Look
time.
out.
George, yeah, he participated in the slam dunk contest. 59-41, Parker on the penetration, and Tony. As the Spurs continue to be aggressive. Here's the other point to what maybe you're talking about, Sean. The Spurs have shot 17 free throws, the Pacers 8.
Yeah, exactly, because they're the aggressors. They're the ones taking the ball to the basket, attacking the rim, and the Pacers are getting the ball. It looks like they're a little lethargic. They're hesitant to attack. One guy catches, he's putting it on the floor. You know, one guy may penetrate. They just don't look like they're attacking, and they're aggressive on the offensive end.
Parker the miss as the Spurs sub Jackson and Bonner. Leonard and Dewan Blair take a seat. 2:07 to go in the quarter. Tony gets 1 of 2 to make it 60-41. Granger got the screen. He's starting to get it going. Misses here. Granger, three-point shooting wise, 35%.
Timmy's open.
They find him. Duncan with a stop.
As soon as Manu Ginobili came down with that rebound and Tim Duncan started running.
Oh, inside to Timmy again, and a block. And it comes right back to the Pacers as bringing it back is Paul George.
I'll tell you what, the Spurs in the screen and roll right now have so many options.
Heck of a move by George to make it 62-43. Deflected. George knocked it right out front, and now he'll do the dunk maybe we thought we'd see a moment ago. And isn't what Pop wanted to see to end this half, though.
No, a few times, and you allow the Pacers. George just tips that to himself and gives Manu a shot on top of it, and then he's off to show off.
12 on the shot, 33 now on the game clock. First half winding down as Tony was 6 against the speedy Collison. Swings it out. Ginobili, juggle at a moment, has to fire it here. Got it on the Bankaroo, baby!
No matter.
Manu, what a half. He's got 14. Shot clock turned off for Indiana.
That's what we've been talking about with this ball club. Somebody else may have a cold hand, but you can't keep 10 or 11 guys down.
7 seconds. George. And an and one. Oh, it looked like a travel.
It was one of those Tyreek Evans,
Is that it?
Manu Ginobili type moves where you pick the basketball up and you take a step like you're going to the right and you go left. This is what happens when you're playing good basketball, and especially Manu Ginobili. When he has it going on, he's liable to throw up anything and it'll go in.
Spurs get it with 4.8.
Plenty of time.
Who knows? Tony waits now. Clock starts. 3 seconds to Jackson.
That was a travel.
With 1 second to go.
It's got a little sloppy to end the half.
Yep.
Just a tad. They're up by 20 points, and it's natural for any team to kind of lay back and relax for a little while.
West to inbounds, fires it here. Granger, and that ends the first half with the Spurs leading 64-18. And before we take a break.